Good morning, everyone. I'm Justin,
I'm Kenneth.
Levent.
and we're Team Diversity. We're actually from Dr. Henderson Discussion Group 0900 Thursday. You can come and meet us there. Get to know us. We love it, really. Anyway, we're here today to go over our research discussion as far as our game app, which we kind of research Lumosity. During our gathering of resources for the upcoming video blog, we started looking into some of the options of giving information from Hurley's Smarter Book. What we found was Lumosity may not be the most clinical of games available, but that it was one of the most accessible for what we need. There's plenty of information out there, and whether it's good or bad, information can always be there for you. Anyway, I'll pass it along to Kenneth.
So we selected a bunch of different apps based on what we felt looked interesting, and basically every member of the group provided an app they liked, looked at, and everyone provided 3 articles of research as required. One of the other alternatives we looked at was something called NeuroNation, an app that claimed to be a little bit more scientific than Lumosity, but actually wound up having a little less research done on it. Interestingly enough, it did have a higher actual star rating compared to Lumosity in various app stores, and had about the same number of downloads, although the number of active users they claimed was substantially smaller than the massive 70 million users Lumosity boasts. NeuroNation's main selling points were that it was intended to specifically improve the user's memory, focus, and intelligence during use, compared to the more vague, general claims of mental improvement that Lumosity makes. Though, once again, given the boldness of these claims, it's really surprising that NeuroNation never cites any supporting work directly. They use their own interviews with various faculty, research institutions, stuff like that. It should still be taken with a little bit of a grain of salt. For example, one of the sources we'll cite is an interview with Professor Falkenstein, which is an awesome mad scientist name. But it basically goes over the reasons they, and kind of by extension he, believe that you should use brain training apps in general.
Another game that we went ahead and looked into was called Brain Games. It had low ratings on it, and you couldn't really find any type of information on it or the amount of people that used it. There was about 100 downloads or more on it, so a game that really didn't actually have a lot of things going for it. And then after a team vote, we decided that we would use Lumosity just because it's the most beneficial, it had the most research, the most number of downloads. On the website and the Luminosity Press, it said there's about 70 million people who have used it, and with about 35 million downloads. So it has a high recognition, and a lot of people know what it is. There's a lot of information and stuff.
So the factors that influenced us the most was that there was a astounding amount of information that was on Luminosity versus any other app, just because it's well known. There was information based off of people's dislikes and people's likes, and it varied substantially to the point that we could make anything from it, honestly.
Lumosity's ultimately fairly simple. Basically, they just kind of throw a bunch of mini games at you that are designed to test your memory, your critical thinking ability, the ability to tell meanings and actual symbolism apart. And they're actually really hard. They're really very hard games, and it's pretty rewarding because there's really no win condition other than you screwed up and you lost. But it still manages to be addictive somehow. It seems to balance that whole challenge well with just the reward of improving your score at something, at a particular mini game that you thought was really hard. One minor problem with it is that the vast majority of its games are locked and not available unless you pay $15 a month to subscribe to the app.
With that being said, Luminosity is also one of the only apps that actually had the significant amount of advertisements behind it. The other games that we kind of looked into, we couldn't really find a lot of like advertisements about them, but on Luminosity there was a lot of advertising behind it. You know, you can almost Google it and you find the website right away. You can find a lot of information regarding the app. And another reason why we actually chose Luminosity, even though there is a way that you can pay $15 to have the app completely unlocked, it's also free for the training part of it, which gives you 3 games a day, which 7 days a week, which is about all you really need to actually go ahead and be able to do the brain training on Luminosity.
All right, guys, that's our claim as far as Lumosity. Thank you for listening to our blog today. Remember, we're Team Diversity.
The old wooden shit.
Stay classy, boys.